we get to eventually, okay? Something happened to me when I was, and I probably have shared it to some people before, but for the sake of those who have not heard this before, I'd like to share a bit of my story. When I was much younger, like an early teenager, I used to have tonsillitis a lot. Tonsillitis is what many of us would call sore throat. I mean, I used to have a lot. I used to have it a lot, and then I would have malaria. It was like the norm. Every month I would have that. And every month I would take antibiotics. I mean, that was my life from when I was an early teenager to my late teens, and even up until when I went to the university. While I was in university, I got a message from my dad one day, and he said, well, I just realized that taking antibiotics, the way you've been taking antibiotics a lot, has the capacity to damage your heart. I said, damage your heart. I said, but you have been the one giving me, you have been the one prescribing this, you have been the one prescribing this for me, yeah? Yeah, but he said, yeah, I've been the one prescribing it. But I just discovered that, you know, it has capacity to affect your heart. So from that point, I began to do a bit of my own research. I was still young, but I mean, I decided first and foremost to move away from antibiotics because I'd taken it for too long. And then I began to research home remedies and things like that. Okay, so studying about home remedies, I began to use lime, use ginger, I use different things for the sore throat whenever it came. Okay, and I began to see some measure of results. So I knew that, you know, there was something there. So it was just something there that was just hanging, you know, somewhere in my mind. Until a couple of years ago when I began some research on herbal medicine. And, you know, when I began to search some herbs, some things I saw literally blew my mind. Yeah. You know, sometimes I'll be researching on my seat, checking some things online, and I will just scream from my seat. And people around wonder, okay, what exactly is the problem with this woman? You know, I literally saw the power in herbs. I saw the power in leaves, in roots, in barks, and the different things that you and I don't even pay, or well, I never paid attention to up until that time. And, you know, you wouldn't blame me because I grew up also in a family of medical doctors. My dad is a medical doctor, my sister, my brother, you know, a lot of people in my family. So I never, you know, I mean, it was never something that was on my mind and all of that. So that research that I began a couple of years ago brought a new vista, like opened my eyes to see, whoa, I mean, there's a lot of things here that I never knew existed. And you know, of course, fast forward till now, a lot has happened to me, you know, understanding the fact that even I took myself to take a course on herbal medicine in the US will let you know that, you know, I really, the interest had been found and I was taking in, I was, you know, I was really excited about what was possible in the industry. I know, interestingly, the course I took in the US, our key lecturer was a medical doctor. I know she would share her experience here. She would share, I mean, it was such a balanced, a really good one. And, you know, here we are today. I'm taking a course again. I'm doing a training again on herbal medicine. It's been an interesting ride. And I know that somebody here would finish this set of trainings with renewed confidence, with knowledge, with, you know, with posture to be able to see that, yeah, we have something really great here. And whether we like it or not, it's been on and around for thousands of years, even before now. I mean, we're just coming to the awareness of it, and a lot is possible in the industry of herbal medicine. So we're taking an introduction today and want to ask ourselves some very basic questions. Yeah, what are herbs? These are just basic questions. What are herbs? Okay. Yeah, getting people in is a bit distracting. I will need the help of my co-host, please, to help me so that I don't get distracted. Okay, so what are herbs, or what is herbal medicine, or what are herbal medicines? Herbal medicines include herbs, herbal materials, herbal preparations, and finished herbal products that contain as active ingredients parts of plants or other plant materials or combinations, and are used especially for the prevention and treatment of diseases. It's very simple, okay? It says different parts of plants put together, and some parts are selected, not used together as well, to prepare, to make herbal preparations used for the treatment and prevention of diseases. They also include preparations of biologically active natural products that consist largely of herbs on herbal materials and are used for the maintenance and management of various diseases, you know, and there's some keywords there that I want us to take a look at. Prevention means we're using herbs for well-being. We are not waiting for sickness to come to us. We're taking it to prevent sickness or prevent health issues from happening to us. That is what happens when you take it for prevention. That's the lifestyle part of taking herbs. Okay, treatment means that the sickness has already come, but you are taking it to alleviate the symptoms or to cause treatment in whatever you're taking it for. Then we have maintenance. Maintenance means that I used it, I had health issues, I used it, but I'm fine now, and I want to just keep healthy and all of that. And then we have management of various diseases. When you talk about management, you're talking about health issues that are a bit lifestyle inclined, like diabetes or hypertension and things like that. Okay, so those are herbs. Those are herbal medicines or preparations. They are put together using herbs. Herbs can be different plant materials like leaves, barks, sometimes roots, sometimes stems, sometimes seeds. You know, different parts of plants are used to make those preparations for different health issues or to maintain general well-being. Yeah, and what's the herb? The herb is a plant or a plant part that is useful based on its scent, flavor, or therapeutic properties. Yeah, or therapeutic properties. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. So when you have plants like Efficacy is very good scent. Yeah, when you apply it to your food, it gives it a very good aroma, but it has health properties as well. It's a good carminative. It helps you to take care of gas and different things like that. Okay, so and some have a mixture of both. You use it for the scent or the flavor as well as the therapeutic property. Therapeutic means it can treat health issues. Okay, then we have herbal medicines. One type of dietary supplements. They are sold as tablets, capsules, powders, teas, extracts, and fresh or dried plants. People use herbal medicines to try to maintain or improve their health. We're already taking care of that. Please help me mute the person who is speaking. Yeah, so so those are herbs and what they are used for. People Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, I think I went mute at a point. Okay. All right, great. Okay, yeah, so depending on the part of the world that you are in and depending on the stage of life that you are in, I'm sure you have seen people who have misused herbal preparations over the years. And you probably have had somebody who said about somebody's family member, the person used this, that was why the person's kidney failed. And you've heard different things. I mean, so depending on people's knowledge of herbal medicines, depending on their use of it, they have experienced either the good side or the bad side of herbal medicines. Okay, so it's like a double-edged sword. But when you have a knowledge of it, you're able to use it to take care of health issues. So herbal medicines can elicit numerous benefits, okay, just as some of them can cause side effects. It's very interesting. Plants are extremely rich, yeah, but plants require a lot of study, a lot of knowledge and understanding to be able to know what part of it is healthy, what part of it is poisonous. Is interesting because some plants exist such that the leaves of the plants are very good, they're effective, but the seed cannot be consumed because they are toxic. Okay, so there's a lot of research, there's a lot of knowledge that is required to be able to know what part of a plant is best to use for different health issues. Okay, so it's important to know that because within a plant, if I take a leaf and I boil that leaf, it contains different, they call them secondary metabolites. Those metabolites need to be separated because some of them can really be poisonous. Okay, so that's why for some plants, you can't just pluck a plant, some plants, and just consume them and eat them. Some require research, some require separation, some require proper preparation for them to be consumed. So in that case, when there's inadequate knowledge, there can be misuse, there can be poison, people can get poisoned and different things like that. So that's why, in and out for the past couple of years. Some people have, some people have expressed, they're not being comfortable with herbs because they've seen what is possible on the other side of it. Okay, and that's why we're putting a lot of knowledge out there to ensure that people know what they should do and look out for, to be able to speak with people who express such fears, such concerns. Okay, so it's important to know that. Okay, so in many instances, herbal medicines have been appropriately used, misused, and sometimes misunderstood. Okay, the benefits of herbal medicines as a means of healthcare depends largely on the correct and adequate knowledge and experiences. Now, let me backtrack to say that our forefathers in those days had knowledge, yeah? Even though they didn't have, they did a lot of trial by error, they did some experience, they had a lot of experience based on usage. Now we have the benefit of science, we have technology, we can separate, we can dose correctly, we can take advantage of the knowledge of the old and merge with the knowledge of the new and make phenomenal things happen. Now, the major difference between herbal medicine then and now is the fact that then, a grandfather can just go pluck a leaf, remove some things from it, know the part to use and prepare it and give it to one person. But if you say, okay, prepare it for an entire village, he may not be able to do that. But here we have the knowledge of science, we have the knowledge of being able to separate, to know the compounds that exist, know what to use and be able to produce in a mass, in a mass production or in an amount that, can be produced for a lot of people. So we have that value to be able to give to people. Okay, so we have, we need to have correct knowledge, adequate knowledge, and experience as well, which is what we're gathering today, or which we've been gathering for some time, and which we need to have. Okay, so the misuse as well as misunderstanding of herbal medicines have been tracked to the knowledge gap. Definitely, there's been a huge knowledge gap on herbal medicine as it relates to the benefits and potential drawbacks, especially by the primary healthcare professionals, doctors, pharmacists, nurses, and the public. And honestly, I will not blame my colleague because I've also been there. Yeah, I've also been there because there's a mindset that goes on in the average medical person. There's a way it works in medicine. If you have a headache in medicine, you should just take paracetamol, and paracetamol will take care of headache, isn't it? Yes, but in herbal medicine, one plant contains several secondary metabolites. And each of those things have the capacity to take care of different things. Yeah, I mean, that's the amazing work that only God himself can do, so that, that gap has been there. But in time, researching, doing toxicology, doing analysis, doing clinical trials, doing preclinical trials, people in medicine, my fellow colleagues, have seen in time, that many of the things we have against and said it can't be possible has been proven over and over and over again, by people who have, taken advantage of using some of these well-researched herbal medicines, and they've seen the value of it. Okay, so somebody misusing it doesn't mean that it's wrong. I need to ensure that I have adequate knowledge to be able to know this is well researched and this is what can be used. Okay. Now, why is it important to understand herbal medicines? I know somebody is here and the person says, maybe just like me, I don't know. Sometimes people call me herbalist. I don't know if you're here in the room and somebody has called you a herbalist before, please type in the comment section. I mean, if you're still following me in class this afternoon, somebody has called you a herbalist before, somebody has called you Gogo Nishe before, someone has called you names that are not very dignifying because you are selling, because you are selling a product that seems to take care of so many things. Yalagbo, correct. People have called you a lot of things because what you're pushing or what you're talking about, doesn't make sense to their science mind. It doesn't make sense to their, okay, not to my face. Doctor, I know. I'm sure you can be sure that people call you that behind you. And I don't mind, of course, I don't mind. I remember not too long ago, I met with some of my old colleagues. We had a reunion, my pharmacy colleagues, we met a couple of weeks ago. And, when I was introducing myself, I actually called myself a herbalist. And, people were, some people laughed, some people just kept quiet and all of that. And, 2 days after, one of my colleagues, who works in, he does hospital pharmacy, he bought me and he said, this herbal medicine you're talking about, I'm really interested in, and, because I've seen a few things, I know that what you are doing, you're going in the right, that's the trend of the world. I know that there's something about this thing. I really want to know, about it. Okay, so if you are here and no people have not called you Iyalagbo before, they've not called you this and that, I think you have not met the kind of people that I'm talking about. People who are very knowledgeable, who have been one track in their thinking and saying, this is how it should be. You can't come to me and say that this is, it is otherwise. Okay, so why is it important to understand? It's important to understand because when we face these people, we need to be authoritative in how we respond to them. I mean, we're not going to clamp on them. We're not going to, speak down on them, but we're going to talk from an aspect of knowledge. We're going to talk from knowledge. And when we talk from knowledge, there's a calm confidence with which we will speak. And there's a way they will get to understand that this person is like, she knows what she's talking about, and things like that. Okay, so why is it important to understand herbal medicines? It's important to understand herbal medicines because the attraction to herbal medicine will continue to increase across the globe, whether we like it. It's a trend that nobody can stop. I mean, it has come to stay. Yeah, hence the urgent need for appropriate and enough information on herbal medicine, especially that which highlights on important topics as benefits, efficacy, safety. People go on and on about safety. They are on and on about safety. Talk, is it safe? And all of that. Toxicity, research and development, formulation, regulation. People want to know, is this regulated by the authorities? Can I take it? Is it safe for me to take? Quality control, is it produced under best quality practice standards? Economic importance and so many other things. Okay, it's important to understand herbal medicines because it's growing. The attraction is increasing. And as the attraction increases, people will look for people who seem to be in this field. And when they look for people who are in this field, you need to be available. And when you are available, you need to make yourself available with knowledge so that you're not just following the trend. It happens for some people because they know that something is doing well. They just jump on the bandwagon and flow, but they don't have the basic foundational knowledge they require to be able to answer questions and address people who express their fears. It's normal for them to express their fears. It's our work to ensure that we allay their fears by presenting the facts, here and there. Okay, so the purpose of this training is to provide important information on various aspects so that we can enlighten ourselves, my fellow health people, my scientists, and everyday users as well, so that we can also extend the same to other people who we come in contact with as we do our business. I just wanted to check, I think there's some comments here, okay? Speaking from a point of view of knowledge is very important. God is more than all of them. Okay, getting knowledge in this area is a certain way to act. It's a certain way, sir. Yes, sir. You've taught us we need to think in a certain way, and then we need to act in a certain way. It's very important. Okay, so what are the concerns? We mentioned it earlier that people have concerns, and it's normal to have concerns about herbal medicines. What are the things that people show and express concerns about? Okay, with many people now using herbal medicines or considering it, safety issues are becoming an important concern. Herbal medicine have been implicated in some important adverse events related to neuro and nephrotoxicities. I'm sure people will ask you, I hope this thing will not damage my kidney. I'm sure people, if you are, people have asked you that before. They told me that if I use these agbos, that they will damage my kidney. They will damage this and that. People have these concerns. Even though massively people are beginning to embrace it, but people still have concerns about some of those things, as well as cancers as well, okay? So people express some of those concerns. I know the answers are pretty simple. When we come up with those concerns, it's very easy to from an area of knowledge. Many of these people that hawk agbo around, we're privileged to interview some of them, and we discovered what they mix. They mix all kinds of things in their agbos. They mix raw alcohol. They even mix, some of them pound Viagra and put in it. Some pound paracetamol and put this leaf, put that leaf, put raw alcohol. They mix all kinds of things in it. Why will it not spoil people's kidney and liver. It must. It's just a matter of time. It will do that. Okay. And all we need to do is to help people know that those people that hawk those things, what they sell is what they mix by themselves. They want people to get quick results so that they will come back to them. So they sell for 50 naira, 100 naira, and they are not regulated. Yeah. So it must, in time damage people's kidneys, but people need to hear, that this is well researched, this is certified, all of those things. People need to hear about the positioning and the work that has gone behind the scenes. And even most importantly, the clinical trials are in the final stage already. When people know that, they know that on a massive scale. And let me give you an idea of what happens in clinical trials. They take a mass size of people, nothing less than 500 people, over a period of about 6 months, sometimes 9 months, and they give them these products, testing particular health issues. That's what clinical trials is all about. And at every stage, they phase it, they put them in phases. They put the trials in phases, and they put up a report on a regular basis. That is what happens in a clinical trial. Okay, so it's vital so that they know that, they have put these people together and they are doing massive, they are pumping them with this product over this period of time, so that people can, feel at peace and know that, yeah, all of the work that takes care of their concerns of safety, of quality is being taken care of. Okay, so so adulterations, of course, that's what happens. That's what happens with this Yalagbo. They adulterate, they mix herbal medicine with conventional medicine. They just mix all kinds of things. That's what happens around, and people consume different kinds, of things that are not quality and don't address what people to address. Okay, so we need to be able to allay their fears or their concerns by the knowledge that we have. Okay, so very quickly, let me just run through, as some of us already know, benefits of herbal medicines. What are some of the benefits of herbal medicines? I already mentioned earlier that the benefits of herbal medicine depends largely on the correct and adequate knowledge you have about it and experience you have gathered with it as well. Okay, so and we have an opportunity for corporate knowledge to be able to give knowledge corporately, to give resources in terms of materials and different things that can be valuable to you, providing knowledge about our range of products. Okay, and the more we relate to people, and one of the reasons why I like this business, in fact, that I don't know if you're not in the FAQ group, please join the FAQ group. If all that happens to you in the FAQ group is that you go there every other day to check what is going on there, you learn quite a lot. Okay, yeah, people raising questions and then being answered, and they come back and give feedback, and this was what happened at the time. I asked this question, these adjustments were made, and this person is fine now, and things like that. Okay, so adequate knowledge is important, and this knowledge is continuous. Okay, you're not just going to do this course, and after this course, you go, I have gotten there. It doesn't happen that way. Okay, even in professional courses, after some time, you go back, you refresh. And do you know that in medicine, they call it medical practice? Even in pharmacy, they call it pharmacy practice. We are still practicing till the day we die. We are still practicing because there's continuous knowledge to be gotten. Yeah, so that's very, very important. Okay, and one of the benefits of herbal medicine is the fact that they are prepared from fresh or dried parts of plants. Okay, they are commonly made into infusions, sometimes decoctions, powders, and things like that. So they are made fresh. They are made fresh from source. And that's one of the benefits. The older you grow, I'm sure you know that even your doctors will tell you that you should go as close to nature as possible. That is one massive, massive, selling point for herbal medicines. Okay, the closer you are to nature, the better. Okay, yes, we must be able to allay the fears of our people. MMP Green Monday is taking herbal medicine to next level with clinical trials. Yes, so let's go there. Okay, so it's fresh, it's close to source. So that is one advantage that herbal medicines have, and it confers a strong benefit on it. Okay, so then I said earlier that when you have a herb or a herbal preparation, one herbal preparation has several chemical compounds. And because it has several chemical compounds, one preparation, one cup of Reader herbal bitters has shown to have a wide range of benefits in the management of various diseases, including challenging diseases or challenging health conditions such as HIV/AIDS, cancer, sickle cell disease, malaria, and other infectious diseases, as well as non-infectious diseases such as diabetes, obesity, infertility, and so on. Okay? So, I mean, and I'm sure if you are here and you've been in Green Mondays for some time, you will see some cancer cases that have been brought, and Reader Herbal Bitters or Reader range of products have actually caused a turnaround in some of those health cases. Okay, one preparation containing several chemical compounds, which comes from the natural plant. It's not adding chemical to it, but it contains what is called secondary metabolites. That those things in themselves have the capacity to take care of a wide range of health issues, including some health conditions that, you know, even orthodox medicine as it is, you know, have been incapable of fully taking care of. Okay, and that's why I call herbal medicine complementary, or I call both of them integrative medicine. Okay, I'm not, you know, one down for the other. And those are the amazing benefits that you have available in herbal medicines. Now, I wanted us to take a look at this next slide because it's so important. World statistics. You know, sometimes you have, when we are thinking about a product like Reader, we have the tendency to think that, okay, it's just for Nigerians, and Nigerians are really just the ones taking it, and maybe herbal medicine is just a Nigerian thing, that even people in the UK are maybe just taking, are just Nigerians that are based in the UK just taking it. I took the liberty to put together this world statistics and market size for herbal medicine so that you can have an idea of the industry that you are playing in, so that you see how massive this thing is. Okay, up to 80% of the rural population in Africa use herbal-based traditional medicine for most of their healthcare. Up to 80% of the rural population in entire Africa use herbal-based traditional medicine. In Ghana, Mali, Nigeria, and Zambia, the first line of treatment for 60% of children with high fever causing malaria and other diseases is herbal medicine. Yes, you heard me correctly. In China and India, herbal medicine accounts for about 50% of the total health products consumption. Yeah, that's it. In the USA, about 40% of the adult population has used herbal medicine in the US. The sales output of herbal medicine in Canada, Australia, and Europe, especially in Germany and France, is rapidly increasing. Our keyword there is rapidly. It's massive. Is growing. Due to the increasing population or popularity, of herbal medicine, stakes in the world markets, local and international, are also rapidly increasing, and the annual sale is rapidly approaching 62 billion US dollars. Now, let's just pause there and let's just think about it. Think about it. Think about those numbers for a bit. Think about and some keywords there that stood out for me, for example, was rapidly. Can somebody type in the comment section rapidly? Type it there, rapidly. Rapidly. That's how your business can explode rapidly. As rapidly as the world is embracing it. That's how massive it is. With rapidity. That's it. All right. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. CM has calculated 700 million a year. That's it. That's the world statistics and what is possible, the market size for herbal medicines. Okay, so now why this rapidity? Why this upsurge? Why this interest? Why? What exactly is responsible for this interest in herbal medicine, or this sudden people embracing it just seemingly all of a sudden? Thank you, everyone. Yeah. So why? Now, why this upsurge? In recent times, the popularity and use of herbal medicines have cut across geographical, gender, economic, socio-cultural divisions. Indeed, herbal medicine is occupying a strategic position in the general healthcare of people worldwide. Some of the probable concerns, we're going to take a look at them. I think we have about 5 or 6 of them. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll attempt to call it an afternoon. Now, if we take our minds back to COVID-19 period, we will see that indeed herbal medicine has come into mainstream. If governors and presidents of nations are calling for solutions, to a menace, to a health issue that has taken the world by surprise. And people and governors and presidents of nations, bodies, health bodies all over the world are saying, if you have the solution, bring it on. If you have something to offer that will stop this siege, please bring it on. Then you will understand that we are in a place, we're in an industry that indeed has come to stay. Herbal medicine is something that has come to stay. It has become a world, and what happened during the COVID-19 season is it's like the world's temperature or sensitivity or I don't know what to call it, sensitivity or their antenna or their reticular activating system to herbal medicine has just been opened up. Something has just been turned on in people's consideration of herbal medicines or alternative medicines as we know it. So that's something I wanted us to take a look at. Okay, COVID-19 has taken herbal medicine into the global stage and a whole new level. That's right. That's it. Okay, just change the game, change the temperature, just change everything. And it's a trend we need to ride, take advantage of, and change lives and change our own lives too. Amazing. Okay, so what are some of the reasons why we have an upsurge in the use of herbal medicine? One is personal preferences. Okay, some people, it's not because of COVID-19 or COVID-20 or anything, based on their background, where they're coming from, their village, their parents, their background or whatever, they have always had herbal medicine as their first line of therapy when it comes to healthcare. We have a small population of people like that who have always been disposed to using herbal medicines. Okay, so despite modernization, despite the fact that they came to Lagos from Iwo or from wherever, they will still go for herbal things. They will still, their preference, their line of first line of solution for their health challenges will always be herbal medicine. So we have some people like that who their reason for going, for herbal medicine is they've always, that's how they grew up, and that's how it was introduced to them from when they were growing up. Okay, so they relied on it as their primary source of healthcare, and it's been good for them, and they're just good. Yeah, so that's why modernization and proliferation of conventional healthcare that hinges on the use of pharmaceutical drugs, they have not really just been moved. They've been staying there. Okay, this is usually prevalent in Africa and Asia. Okay, and even when they blow, when these people make a lot of money, they still stay faithful to herbals. Okay, they just ensure that they go for the good ones. And that's why some people, before you say one, two, they're very open, to herbal medicine. So we have some people like that. Number one is personal preferences for herbal medicine. Okay, number two is perception of safety. It's just when I came upon this point, I was like, okay, that's interesting. Some people actually feel that herbal medicines are safe and they carry no risk or side effects because they are natural products derived from plant materials and minerals. I'm sure for some of us, that sounds, yeah, it makes sense, but some of us have to grow to that point. And that's why sometimes when people ask you that, this reader, you say it's natural, I know it's natural, but will it not, is it not going to damage my kidney? But when you break it down to people and let them know that it's taken from plants, okay, the same way you won't ask, will ewuro damage, if I'm eating bitter leaf soup every day, is it going to damage my kidney? No, it's medicinal, it's food, it's plants. Once it's properly cooked, it's not going to damage, it's going to do my body good. So some people already have that perception of safety to say that, okay, it's close to nature. Anything that is close to nature is at home with the body. So some people have a perception of safety, and some people already embraced herbal, orthodox medicine and are warming up into herbal medicine now. Also have the same perception of safety. There are some, because this is being recorded, there's some things I would like to say, but I'll just jump and not say them. But some people have heard certain things about orthodox medicine that they decided that, okay, it may not be bad for them to consider gradually embracing herbal medicine. Okay, so there's a perception that people have that, okay, if I can take egusi, if I can take ewuro, if I can take these things that are plants close to nature, then herbal medicines, are safe. Okay, even it's not totally true, because it is based on how it's prepared, the quality, the safety and toxicity that are the measures that are in place to ensure that the products are okay. You know, it's not just bracket to say, oh, because it's natural, or because they've written natural on the bottle, then it's safe. Okay. Many herbal medicines are not totally devoid of side effects. So, and that's why a lot of research needs to be done to ensure that, you know, you are consuming what is safe. Okay, although generally it's been noticed that herbal medicines are comparatively more tolerable to the body than pharmaceutical drugs, especially in long-term use for the management of chronic ailments. I remember someone who told me he was using some medications, and you know, it was helpful for him or for her, but that the side effects were even worse than what she was using it for. So she had to stop using them. So, I mean, we hear some of those things from time to time. And fortunately for her, she's able to get a herb. Of course, I recommended Restore for her and the bitters. If she's able to use that over time, she can get the chronic ailments she's managing handled. Okay, so studies also have shown that in some countries such as South Africa, Ghana, herbalists far outnumber the conventional medical doctors. Isn't that, I mean, when I saw that, I was like, wow, you know, a lot of conventional therapy do come with complications and side effects. Yeah, I mean, we know that. We know that. Yeah, so it's interesting to know that in South Africa and Ghana, herbalists far outnumber medical doctors. I felt it was going to be the other way around. And somehow I also discovered that in China, India, and Vietnam, the number of herbalists and the conventional doctors are comparable. That means they are really just about the same. But anyway, I think we can agree to that because India and China have a very large population. So if their population is large and their doctors and the herbalists are comparable, that means they have a lot of herbalists. You know, that means that they have a lot. Okay, so that's a lot. Yeah, so I mean that's the researcher. So it's interesting. South Africa and Ghana, it's interesting. You won't believe it. So I mean, it's a trend that is not going anywhere. Yeah. So another reason for an upsurge in herbal medicine is easy accessibility. I'm sure we can relate. Yeah, we can relate, especially in the rural areas. We can relate. Some rural areas don't even have a primary health center. They don't even have access to a medical personnel. Okay, so I mean, in those kind of cases, they would have gone for Agbo and different things before they even go ahead, you know, to be able to find even a nurse or somebody that can even listen to whatever they are on about or what their health issue is. Okay, and for those who are able to even access it, for those people, especially in the rural communities, it's either expensive, okay, or difficult. You know, easy and quick access to healthcare is the traditional practitioners. Those are the ones that are accessible, easily and more accessible to them. Okay, even in societies where pharmaceutical products are highly regulated and are available, herbal medicine is easily obtained at low cost and without prescriptions. Yeah, so people can access it easily. They don't need to go to the bureau. Oh, I need to go and see a doctor. And then when I see a doctor, the doctor says, okay, go and do some tests. After I run the test, you know, and you know, some people are like, you don't understand what I'm passing through. Like, I need to fix this thing now, you know. So people are able to access herbal medicines more quickly to take care of their health issues. It's the reason why the surge is also there. Yeah. So then we have low costs. Low costs. In many rural communities, the cost of herbal medicines is often low when compared to those of the conventional medicines. Yeah. Of course, when in places where people cannot afford to see a doctor, in which case they will pay a consultancy fee, then they will go run some tests, then they'll come back, they'll write some medications for them, maybe take some injections, get some medications, come back again for like a review of some sort. Okay, they will check and adjust it. You know, some people are not just able to afford that. And herbal medicine has proven to a number of people to be a lot more affordable for them. Okay, then number 5 is efficacy. Efficacy of treatments. Efficacy is something that is increasing the volume. Yeah, it's increasing the volume of herbal medicine. Efficacy is increasing the volume, especially for products that have been tested, certified, and good. Efficacy is increasing the volume of herbal medicines all over the world. Okay, in recent times, there have been increased research activities to verify claims. Because, I mean, sometimes when some testimonies come up, sometimes the regulatory, your regulatory antenna is up and you're checking, okay, are these people for real? Are they, what they're saying about this, is it true? You really just want to challenge it, okay? So in recent times, there have been increased research activities to verify claims and determine safety and quality control standards for herbal materials and products, okay? The regulatory bodies are also coming up because, I mean, sometimes when you say there's a trend, every Tom, Dick, and Harry who doesn't have anything to offer just comes up with something and says, I have this. And you have, I mean, without proper regulation in place, all kinds of things really can be in the market that can damage people's health. Okay, so the safety and efficacy of some herbal products have been scientifically evaluated to corroborate their claims. Okay, so, I mean, it's important to ensure that when we say, okay, this helps, it eliminates oxidative stress, or it mops up oxidative stress. And as a result of that, you would have people who would say it's managing my blood sugar, my BP is getting well under control and all of that, you know. Then that's when the research will come in. That's when what do you call it? That's where when a teaching hospital or an academic environment will take up the products and say, can we go do an in-depth research on this? Why is this? Okay, can we compare it to this medication that has been in the market for some time, managing this health issue? What's the difference? What is responsible for this? And all of that, to ensure that they do a proper research to corroborate that claim that it can take care of so, and so. Okay, so the scientific proof of safety and efficacy has contributed to the increasing confidence and popularity of many herbal products. I'm sure, I mean, when we say clinical trials, people can go anywhere and go and talk about reader because they know that, you know, this work, you know, has gone on to ensure that what we have is amazing. Okay, and then we'll come back again and say ISO, these are products. I mean, your confidence level goes up, and that's what you have. And it's increasing massively the upsurge in the use of herbal medicines. People that were not listening to you before are beginning to listen because based on research and based on results of those research, corroborating or confirming those claims, it's increasing the volume, you know, of herbal medicine in the market, and is raising the confidence and popularity of many herbal products. Okay, so there are also certain diseases where patients have indicated preferences for herbal medicine instead of a pharmaceutical drug. Okay, I would like to pause at this point and say, do you know anyone who has made a preference or said, okay, I prefer a herbal preparation to my normal Igbo medicine for this health issue? Is there anybody like that? Do you have anybody like that in class today? If you have related with anybody before and the person said, I prefer to use herbs for this thing than my Igbo medicine, and it's for this health issue, can somebody please post in the comment section so that I'm sure that I'm not that I'm not speaking to myself. I prefer this. I don't even like Igbo. I don't even like Igbo medicine. You don't like any medicine. Okay, so yes, I have Mr. Latif. Yes, I have. My neighbor, yes, I have. Okay, Diana, me. Oh, yes. So, you know, funny enough, for as basic as a headache, guys, for basic as headache, I can't remember last time I took a painkiller. No, I don't remember last time I used a painkiller. Once my head is doing crank, I know what to use. Herbal to the rescue. I just rub it and I just rest my head. And it's so Igbo medicine kills. That's an absolute statement. That's not true. Even I would not agree with you. But Igbo medicine works. And one of the things they told us in class then, you know, when I was studying, they were comparing Igbo medicine with Orthodox medicine. And they made us see that what happens in Orthodox medicine is the fact that it's synthesized. And because it's synthesized, they take only one thing, like one active compound, yeah, that medication is supposed to address. Once it's supposed to address diabetes, they work that thing, go straight to the pancreas. There's no other thing that it addresses. And because of that, the speed of action on health condition you're trying to solve is rapid, actually. for orthodox medicine. But the flip side is that the effects may actually be a lot. That's the flip side of it. But for herbals, because it contains many compounds, that's the main difference. I was saying it earlier. The main difference is that for orthodox medicine, you have one compound contained in one medication. Every other thing is what they use to, they call it excipients, that bind it and make it a tablet. But it contains just one. It's like, it's a sword. Yeah? It just goes straight into what you sent it to do. Yeah? And it acts very fast. But the downside is that it can have some side effects that can be really strong for orthodox medicine. But for herbal medicines, one single plant or even a leaf has many compounds. And because it has many compounds, it has many properties and many things that it can do. And that's why sometimes you take a research on one single herb, you see antidiabetic, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory on one leaf, because it contains many compounds. Yeah, so that's the major, that's one major, yellow and red. Yeah, I don't take any painkillers, actually. I'm sure if you are here, you've heard for painkillers, prolonged use of painkillers, you know what it can do for you. Yeah, so you want as much as possible. Don't stop, don't just be popping in those pills. It has huge damage it can do to your organs. So it's important, don't abuse medications. Okay, yeah, so as I gradually begin to wind up, I think I'll take one more point. Yeah, I'll take one more point before I conclude, and any questions I will be having in the house. Thankfully, I have my medical team to also join in support to wrap this up this afternoon. So the final point I'd like to talk about why the upsurge in the use of herbal medicine is as a last resort. I'm sure you are very familiar with this, guys. Yeah, I have one news I would like to share with you, and it happened just last week. Just last week. Yeah, there was a man who had been hearing about Rita, and his mother was diabetic. Yeah, she was diabetic. I think she had a sore because he's in the north. I think she had a sore, or I don't know. And then she had, somewhere was swelling, blah, blah, blah. So I said, go to the doctor, get an opinion, get on medication. She said, yeah, that, they had told her what the issue was that had to do with the diabetes she had. It was complications from diabetes and different things like that. And that she was being treated. So he had sent a message in about a month ago. I didn't hear from him again. And then I heard a message from him, I think 3 days ago, like last week. And he said the mom's condition was getting worse and that she needed the reader like very fast. And it was far in the north. So I tried to contact somebody who contacted somebody, and we tried to get somebody to get it down across to her. And she passed on sometime last week. By the time the reader got to her, she had passed on. He heard about this over a month ago. I'm not God. I don't know whether it could have helped her. I believe it should have. I know it would have helped her. But he pushed this aside because he felt that, the doctors are still doing their work and all of that. And that's why I encourage people. You don't have to drop your medications to take this reader. Yeah, you can take it side by side. Just make sure you separate, use by 1 hour, and then you're good to go. And this woman passed on. All of a sudden, he started increasing the volume and say, oh, madam, can you please be quick? Can you please send this thing? I need it like now. My mother needs it. Her condition is really critical. I'm sure we get this kind of thing all the time. If you are here in the room and this has happened, you have experienced this before, all of a sudden, somebody that asked you about Rita last month just starts disturbing you because the case is getting critical. You can put it in some comment section so that I'm sure I'm not the only one. I mean, this still happened last week. I was really sad. I spoke with the man, I think about 3 days ago, after hearing that the mom had passed on. Okay, so sometimes we do that. We just feel that, last resort, let me try all the professionals. And it's because of the way we see herbal medicines. We see it as not professional, not quality, not authoritative. And that's why we're putting a lot of information out there. That's why we're putting a lot of confidence out there to you so that you know all the work that has gone to ensure that what we have is quality, what we have is safe, what we have keeps passing through the tests to ensure that it's safe, it's quality, and it takes care of people's health issues. Okay? Okay, someone says true. Okay, this happened last week, and people do that. They take it as last resort in the management of certain diseases, especially when the conventional drugs have failed to yield the desired results or are accompanied by serious, this person keeps calling me, and have failed to yield the desired result or are accompanied by serious side effects, especially in chronic cases. Yeah. So this still happened last week, like I said, someone who had diabetes passed on. Yeah. So it's good. And that's what I try to push to people. Don't wait till you are ill. Yeah. We already established earlier that herbal medicines help, to prevent health issues. Boost your immunity is what we tell people. It's the best way to live is to not fall sick. It's not, is to stay healthy. And that's what herbs help you to do. They help your body to be at home, they're at home in your body. Herbs are at home in your body. And they help you to maintain, to optimize good health. Sorry, someone is calling. Can you call them? Tell them I'm on a train. Sorry, let me give it to them. Yeah, so what's the future? The future of herbal medicine. What's the future of herbal medicine? The future of herbal medicine it's a no-brainer, guys. I mean, from all what I've shared, it's obvious that the future of herbal medicine, it's like up. It's just, it will keep going on and on. Herbal medicine is the fulcrum of complementary and alternative medicine. That's I like to call it like it's like the anchor point, of complementary and herbal medicine, which in recent times is increasingly gaining widespread popularity all over the world and gradually streaming towards integration into the mainstream healthcare systems. Okay, I'm sure if you are here, you've been around for some time, you would hear or you would have heard that there's clinical trials already going on. Let me tell you the meaning of that. What that means is that the time is coming in a few weeks and a few months from now, when we're talking about Rida will be prescribed in the hospitals. Rida will be benchmarked side by side some medications to take care of some health issues. And then we can make some strong claims. That's what it means. Okay, by the time that is done, that's where we are going. That's where we're going to. Okay, so herbal medicine is advancing. That's where we're going. Yeah, and it's entering into mainstream, integrating into mainstream, so that side by side we can have, we can make claims, as it were, and people's health can be taken care of. Okay, so like we've been taught for about 6-7 days, we are in a creative plane. We're in a creative plane. Do we want herbal medicine to advance so that orthodox medicine will go down? No. We just know, we can see that what we have has the capacity to change lives. What we have has the capacity to save lives. What we have has the capacity to make people healthier, has the capacity to prolong people's lives, and has the capacity to take the world to a better place in terms of quality of life, and quality of health. So we're in a creative plane. It's not about competition. Yes, that's it. The future is so bright. I'm just wearing sunshades, guys. Where we're going is massive. The future is just exciting. If you take a look again at the market size, at the consumption, and where the world is, there were people on my contact list this time last year who were enemies of herbal medicine. Today, they are taking Rida. And it will happen every year like that. People will embrace it. And then the people who already embraced it, will keep embracing it. Yeah. And that's what we have. That's the opportunity that we have in herbal medicine. So the future, guys, the future of herbal medicine as we know it is integration into mainstream. Integration into mainstream. So if you want to enter into mainstream, if you want to get into mainstream, you need to get knowledge. You need to get certified. And that's the journey that we're on. My work today is just to introduce it, to whet your appetite a little bit. I hope I've been able to do that so that you have an idea of what is possible or what is available in herbal medicine. So that by the time we're going into deeper details about it in the course of the next few days to 1 week, you will see and hear from other people to see that, wow, I'm in the middle of something big. Okay, and I need to grow and have stature so that I can soar and so that I can thrive in this opportunity. So I hope with this few points of mine, I've been able to begin you on a journey of ensuring that you are not just selling Rida. Yeah, and that's what we want to do. That's why we're doing this training. So you're not just selling Rida, you are a consultant. That's what you are. Yeah, you are a certified herbal medical practitioner, yeah? And you are able to speak with people from an area of knowledge. When people speak about Agbo in a denigrating manner, you can educate them, okay? And that's the journey that we're on. Okay, so I don't know if anybody has any questions. I think I'll pause it at this point. Thank you very much for having me. Yes, you're a consultant. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any question? Any question in the house?